making an ass of myself. Let's bring. Thank you for those claps. Mighty, mighty. I appreciate it. Let's bring on today's guest. Go ahead and mic up, cam up, Mermaid Serenade. Let's bring. Oh, thank you for those biddies, mighty, mighty. All right, guys. Let's go. Mermaid Serenade in the hizzo. There she is, everybody. Mermaid Serenade. Thank you so much. I'm so.
In a hot tub.
You're in a hot tub. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. At the beginning of the hot tubs, it was when Indie Fox and Amaranth first got banned for licking ears. Have you ever seen them lick ears before? Or heard, yeah, pretty cool stuff. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. So they got 1 day banned or a couple days banned, and so in solidarity, which I don't know what that's not really solidarity, but just to show support, we put a hot tub in there, and it hasn't gone yet. So we're really liking the hot tub, and it's a part of the show. I was writing people's names on my arm at first, but things happen. Things have the hot tubs have evolved to just being a part of the set now. So I'm glad that you're feeling it. Is it a good temperature? Should I lower it? High?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's good. It's
It's
good.
a little humid, but
Well,
that's okay.
well, you got glasses on, so you might have to wipe them off every couple seconds, but it's all right. We'll get through this. We'll get through this.
Well,
Mermaid Serenade, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm
Yeah,
doing good. Just, hanging out,
yeah.
just ready to chat and see where the conversation takes us.
Well, I'm glad that you're ready to chat because apparently I'm not. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally not. No,
Can I ask you some questions?
yeah. You can ask me all you want. Well, no, well. Since we were just talking about these concerts being canceled, Moving Dutchman, what's up, buddy? What are you? Do you have any concert tickets or any shows that you want to go to?
I haven't really been a big concert person in my life. I have to
Mm,
admit,
yeah.
like, I'm a very much like, I want to sit down and enjoy the show. I think I'm just old now, like,
Yes. Yeah, no, who wants to stand there for like 3 hours all night? Your back's hurting, you're tired, like the kid's gonna be up at 6 in the morning as usual. It's just not even fun anymore. It's just, oh, dude, yeah, give
yeah,
me a
having
seat. I want to be home by 11. Like, so
Yeah,
there's,
having the kid, it's like, things become really fun up until about 10 p.m. and then they become significantly less fun after each passing half hour because that's the less sleep you're gonna get.
yeah, yeah, and that's all you can think about. I mean, my God, like now that I don't drink, it's like when I'm up, like playing gigs is really tough because it's not like I'm out drinking, but I am closing down the bar. So it's like
Mhm.
getting home at 3 in the morning, and then Saucy's gonna be awake at like whatever balls o'clock in the morning. So it's like there's just no getting around. I'm not sleeping if I have gigs. It's like this weekend, Daddy gets no sleep, and that's okay. That's okay,
Yeah, it's
dude.
temporary.
Dude, rap concerts are long as shit. No, I feel that rap concerts are long as shit, and it's like, ugh, I don't want to be there all fucking night. I don't know. When's the last time you went to a big concert?
Mm, I really couldn't even tell you. I think
That's awesome.
maybe when I was like 21, I think I went
Wow.
to a concert in LA. I'm born. You guys, I went to art school, okay? Like my life went down that path. So
Well, uh, Wu Tang 2019, ironically, not long as shit. Well, yeah, that's good. But the local stuff, yeah. But I mean, like, what do you what does that make you feel then? Like, since you have no real connection to large concerts, do you even care if everything gets shut down? Like, is that not really? Are
I
you
mean,
saying you don't give a shit about if the world goes back into lockdown, Mermaid Serenade? Is that what you're selling us?
I mean, I will say that historically I've been more of an introverted person, believe it or not.
I
And just
I don't.
despite the fact that I have a Twitch channel, I've been keeping things pretty, I don't know, chill. I'm not, I haven't been going out. My sister is really big on going to concerts. She's
Hmm.
always, she was dying with she needed to go to all the festivals and
Oh
stuff like
yeah.
that.
It happens.
That was
Yeah.
just not my vibe. It's like sweaty, you know,
It
concerts are
is
sweaty.
sweaty. People everywhere.
Mhm.
Just no. I'm not like. I'm supposed to go to a Dave Matthews Band at the Gorge in September. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. Oh well. By the way, everybody, the stream is gonna from September 1st or from September 3rd to the 12th or something. There's not going to be really consistent shows because I'm going to be on the road with Matt Suarez Music. So just letting y'all know in September, the first half of September is going to be a little weird. But yeah, we're going to the Dave Matthews out in at the Gorge in Washington, and where they just announced that everyone has to have vaccine or get tested. And I'm not against getting tested or anything, that's fine. But it's just like it's really weird when you look at how yeah, I mean, in 48 hours, I feel like anything can happen, because it has to be 48 hours prior to going to the concert. So
Mhm.
I feel like in 48 hours, we're gonna be in Seattle. Like my dirty ass could have been anywhere. Between that test result and the front gate, I could have been anywhere with all kinds of stuff going on. So I don't get it. It's fine. I guess it's some kind of security, but I don't know. When you look at the measures that are being taken right now, it doesn't seem like things are working out all that great. So
No.
I'm not sure if this is going to be effective. I don't know. I mean, you're in New York, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How?
I mean, it's pretty serious out here, but even still, like the numbers are going up and it's
Yeah.
frustrating. It's like, I don't know, like maybe it's unpopular, but I kind of think that like we should have just like bit the bullet a long time ago and just like went on lockdown for like a month just to get it under control and
Mhm.
then we could be free. But that's.
Well, I mean, and who knows if that would even work? Like who
That's
knows?
true.
It's like it's hard to keep everyone locked in place. Like right
Hmm.
now in Australia, there's like they have they. I was on a podcast the other day and they were telling me how there's this woman who comes on the screen every day to tell you how much COVID's gonna kill you, and that's all she does. That's it. She comes on, says, and then there's helicopters overhead. No one's allowed out. It's crazy. And I think it's only in certain areas though. But yeah, it does seem a little weird and maybe locking everybody down. But are you in the city? Or are you in one of the boroughs?
When we first went into kind of like a lockdown last year, I
Mhm.
was actually living with roommates, and
Oh
that
wow.
was like, I mean, my roommates are really good people, but I just think having roommates in a situation where like you need to control people going out, it was just not the vibe that my husband and I wanted.
Yeah.
And then we ended up moving this April. We ended up moving to like more upstate New York. So like I guess I'm also like less concerned about like potential lockdown because now I'm like, not worried about having to worry if my roommate's going to go out and get a 7 Up in the middle of a pandemic or something.
He's like, I'm thirsty. I need to go get 20 ounces of Mountain Dew. And he's
Hey
like,
man, like I don't know, that's what they needed, okay? Like there was a mental health 7 Up or something. Like I don't know. Like
Australian mainstream media is kind of sketchy. I think most mainstream media is kind of sketchy mental. But that's not where I'm getting my information. If that's what you're insinuating. But no, I actually talked to people who were there. They had I was on someone's podcast and they were just like, it is fucking nutty over here. So I don't know. Maybe they're lying to me. Maybe they're big old fat liars. They're gonna be on the show. These lying assholes will be out here. We had a curfew, people still went out. Yeah, well, that was the thing. Like, a lot of people weren't even really paying attention to those things. Like, I know for a fact, I have several friends, lots of friends, who were just out and about, living their life. You saw them at the outside at the beach, hanging out. They're all like gathered together. Ah! We're, it's a big debate, Cartagena. Sending people to school. No, yeah. So it's been kind of, I don't know. I don't know how you can control people and control something like this, and what the evidence is showing that it's like I guess there's no real controlling it. So
yeah,
what do
I
we
don't
do?
know.
What do we do, Mermaid Serenade? How do we get out of this?
I don't know. I mean, we can't, I don't know. I think it's like at this point, like the dominoes are falling as they're falling. You know what I mean? Like, I
I
don't
do.
know. Like, obviously, wearing masks is like a good thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's evidence to prove that that's helpful, but at the
Yep.
same time, like even that's been like a fucking issue.
Yep.
Like,
Well, I mean, it's an issue because people don't want to wear them, and it's an issue because the virus is still spreading pretty quickly. So, I don't, like, I'm not against masks because obviously the masks do stop like spittle and stuff. And like, if anybody's like me, I got a lot of saliva. It's gross. And every once in a while, you'll just see like a come flying on my face. It's disgusting. It's awful. It's awful. I choke on my own spit. That's how much spit accumulates in my stupid mouth. So, yeah, I do see the point of that is sort of like, blocking those things. But like, if you're in a room with somebody, those masks aren't like HEPA filters that are purifying your breath. Like the breath still gets around it, the breath still goes through the mask. And there is a thing called, what is it, air saturation? I think that's what they're calling it. Too much spit. We got it. Yeah. Hey, you know what, mental? I'm really spitty. What do you want? But it's all three little ones have lung issues. Oh man, yeah. That's
that's
tough, man.
stressful.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Cartagena, yeah, I don't, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what to do. Obviously, you're a grown ass man, you know what to do. But fuck, dude, I would not. I would not. I mean, we don't want to send Saucy to school just because it's a bad school. It's not even like he literally is not learning anything going there. So it's really, I mean, there is less spreading in places where people like mass than in
Mm-hmm.
Florida. Yeah, yeah, but at the end of the day, when you look at what's happening, like Florida, was it South Dakota, Oklahoma, Texas, they all ate as much shit as everyone else. Everyone been eating as much shit as everyone else. It just seems like, it just seems like it's one of those things that, like Mermaid said, you got to let the dominoes sort of fall where they lay because we're like too far into it now.
Yeah.
So I
I don't
don't.
know. It's tough though, because like New York City like got hit really hard in the very
Mm,
beginning. And so I think like it's kind of like a natural New York instinct to just say at this point for me it feels like just to say like, yeah, just get vaccinated and wear a damn mask. It's not that complicated, like so
yeah.
that's my opinion. Do I know if that's gonna make everything perfect? Of course not. But so that's why I kind of said like, it's gonna happen the way it happens, but
Yeah.
you can definitely be proactive, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's why, you know what, lockdowns were great for me. I don't know, like I'm not saying it was great for me, for everybody, and it wasn't completely great for my mental health, but like when you step back and look at what my life was before the pandemic and what it was after the pandemic, not much changed. Like I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything, but all I want to do is stay home and either be with family or work. Like I like my job, so I'll
Mhm.
just do that all the time. So there was how about for you? What was in the initial lockdown? Was it tough on you, or were you able to throw yourself into work, or like what? I mean, you got
This,
on
I
Twitch too,
mean,
so.
to be completely honest, like my whole life has like dramatically changed in the last 2 years, I would say.
Wow.
Like kind of like end of 2019, I had just gotten promoted to manage this hotel in Tribeca, New York City,
Wow.
and was kind of killing it in hospitality, but like just kind of like came to a moment where I knew like there was no way I was going to get these like my bosses to care about their employees, and there was a lot that I couldn't change. And so I had like a job shift. I got this job at a tech company for like being like an executive assistant to this like CEO or whatever. And just kind of like, living the New York life, like just wake up and grind and wake up and grind and just I'm exhausted all the time. And then when COVID happened, I got laid off and I kind of just like took it as an opportunity to like just fucking start over, like I just didn't like doing all that stuff. Like, yeah, it was like a good job, but I just wanted to take some time and just like deal with deal with my baggage, if I can be honest.
No, for sure. No, it was a great time for that. It was
And then
definitely.
yeah, and then my husband suggested that I stream, because I know a lot about art and I love art, and I wanted to refocus that part of my life and make that the priority in my life, and now it's kind of grown into this whole thing, and and I'm a lot happier. I'm a lot more broke, but I'm a lot happier.
Yeah, that's the fun part about the arts is like, yeah, it's much better than the other stuff that, that you're not really interested in, but hope you don't mind being poor.
I can eat a lot of top ramen. It's fine.
You know what? Me too. I can eat eggs and beans and rice like beans and rice on its own is a complete protein. You add
It is.
eggs in it, you're good. You're
Yep.
good. So
Yep.
I will live off that. I will literally live fuck. I will just live off rice and beans and eggs. I don't care. I will do that. Broke happy life.
It's
Yeah,
healthy.
broke happy life. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's I mean, it's not always happy though, I mean, it gets stressful, not having this steady income. Was that a
Mhm.
hard thing for you to get past the idea of not having like a steady income and sort of
Oh,
rely?
totally. Like again, like I feel like my life did like a total like 180. Like I
Mhm.
was definitely that person who like I don't know, got a lot of fulfillment out of making money, like I
Yeah.
thought I
Hey,
had
no,
times a
money's
lot of like
awesome.
feeling good about myself,
Yeah.
like with making money, but you do reach a point I think, and I think that threshold is different for everybody where you realize that like, you still feel like shit. Like even though you make money, it's like a hollow sort of self,
Yeah. Yeah.
a hollow feeling.
It is. Everyone is broke. Not everyone. Not everyone is broke mental. That is true. Live off pancakes and waffles. Ew.
That's a
Um,
lot of sugar.
yeah, that's too much. There's too much sugar. Um, th- that whole trend, I feel like this whole thing has been a trend of that kind of mentality in which you just described, where there's just like a whole big group of people, especially I don't know about the whole world, but especially in this country, is that they have sort of come to this realization when you get a year off, a paid year off for a lot of people, you come out of it. They came out of it as like I loved remodeling my house, or I finally had the time to write that novel, or I finally had the time to do this, and I finally had the time to do that, and it made them realize how unhappy they were, making a lot of money. But I think you're right. I think not that making a lot of money is a hollow venture, but it can be, and I don't know. I do like I've read this article, but like, have you seen that in your group of friends? Have you seen people and other artists maybe that who had day jobs and now they're just like, I can't do that anymore? I mean, have you noticed this at all?
I think I'm the friend who's like, I can't do this.
No, it's me. It's just me.
A lot of my friends worked through the pandemic. I mean, and they have kept their jobs. They just worked remotely, and now they're going back into the office. Some of them are going back to the office in New
Yeah.
York. Fortunately for our family, my husband was employed the whole time, so that
Nice.
was great. But no, I think I'm the friend. I think I'm the one who's like, I'm not doing that again because I can't. Like I don't like I think that I had gone so long like adjusting my life to accommodate other people, whether it was like as a kid, like my family, or like, school with your teachers, or now your bosses, that I'm just like, no, man, I don't want to change who I am or accommodate anybody anymore. I think I'm done like with that.
Yeah, no, it's, more money, more problems too, right? Like you're making a good amount of money, and people are gonna have higher expectations because they're paying you well,
Oh yeah.
and that stress is just fucking crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
uh,
No, I have horror stories from managing the hotels.
like
It's just crazy.
like what?
Like, let's see, what's one of my favorite ones? Let's start with a chill one. Let's start with a really chill story. So like this is a fun one. Stories like this I don't mind. But we once had this lady who was like a little bit off her rocker, and she would always come down to the complimentary breakfast, and she was with us for like 2 weeks, and she would just come down and take all the bananas from the breakfast, and she would take them upstairs and put them in her room in like this drawer in like, the little dresser we had,
Yeah.
and she would just take them, and we got to a point where like the second we had like a spotter like waiting to see her when she came out of her room so we could make sure to put the bananas away.
Oh, so you'd go in there and take them out of the drawer?
Well, no, we'd take them out of the complimentary breakfast, so she
Oh,
wouldn't
so
go down
she.
and take them all.
Wait. So instead of confronting her, you're like, "We'll just. There's no more bananas."
Yeah, We're all out today. We're all out.
What was that just to avoid confrontation?
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, because she was a little off her rocker, and you never know
Right.
how it's going to go with somebody who's off their rocker. They could be really chill, or they could start screaming in the lobby and throwing bananas at you. You never know.
That that's
People are crazy.
yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure people are crazy. And especially these days, it's just I feel like everybody's got the like they've got the sign off. It's like, okay, it's okay to be crazy now.
Well,
Did everybody get the memo? Yeah, we got the memo. I'm fucking psycho now. Sweet.
yeah.
Let's
And
go.
they act crazy in hotels for sure because it's a temporary place.
Right.
Like I've been threatened before. Like we one time had a guest at my hotel who one of the hotels I managed, and like she got her laundry sent out, and the laundry didn't get back before she checked out, and she
Hmm.
actually forgot about it, and then she came back later that night when she wasn't even staying with us anymore, and was like threatening our staff if we didn't give her the laundry. And I had to walk her around like the entire hotel and show her that there was no laundry anywhere. I was like, look, they haven't delivered it yet. And she was just like, did not believe us. And she was lying. She was just like yelling at us. And then, and then there was another story where a guy was convinced that someone on staff stole his kitten. Like it was him and his wife and their two cats, and one of them was a kitten, right?
Yeah.
And so like he comes down and he's like raging. And I was at home. This is at like 10 o'clock at night. And so my staff calls me and I'm like, fucking fine. I'll come into the hotel and find this goddamn cat. And so like I go there and we're looking, and I get there and this dude had already punched a hole in the wall. He was so mad that like we couldn't make this cat appear. And so finally I was like, would you mind if we just check your room one more time? Would you mind? And he's like, fucking fine. We go in his room, and sure enough, the goddamn cat is like hiding behind this little laundry basket, probably hiding from this lunatic man.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Is like he's probably fucking cowering under the basket, hoping make the bad man stop, make the bad man stop. Jeez, oh Pete, I,
But honestly, the guest stuff is really not that bad. The stuff that was the worst, that was the breaking point for me, was
mm.
all the engineering bullshit. Like the like
Fucking engineers.
no, not even the engineers,
Oh,
just the
okay.
fucking buildings. Because these
Oh,
guys, like these people who manage the hotels, they're not proactive. They're
mm,
reactive. So they'll
right,
wait till a fucking pipe bursts out of a goddamn ceiling before they do the work to fix it. But like, then you have to deal with a fucking pipe
right.
pouring ice cold water in the middle of winter on everybody's fucking car in the basement. So anyway, shit like that. Shit like that. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Oh man, yeah, I can imagine. No, I think of myself as a guest at a hotel in my early 20s, and then I just think of I just feel bad for everybody who works at a hotel because me and my friends were fucking terrorists. Like we were did not care. We were just like slamming beers, throwing them at the wall, fucking just
Yep.
just who cares? This ain't my house. I'll do whatever I want.
Seriously.
Fucking it's
Seriously.
really really gross. I'm gonna kind of do this out of order, but just because the question, I'll get to your question, Cartagena. But ever done a bodily fluid check in your hotel?
What do you mean bodily fluid check?
You've never seen them like take the like the what's the blue light that makes things glow?
Oh hell no. No, absolutely not. No. No. Would not allow black light in any hotel. Otherwise, I would have to quit immediately. I was trying to preserve my job at
Yeah,
that point. I don't want to know. I
I
trust the
would.
housekeepers. I trusted my housekeeping staff.
Yeah,
That's enough for me.
that's enough for you. But I just wonder how clean those fucking rooms are, man. I don't.
They're not clean.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't, they're just, I mean, like, look here, the linens are fresh.
Mm,
The linens are fresh. Your bathroom's going to be clean. The air conditioner could go either way. The carpet could go either way.
yeah.
Definitely don't flip the mattress over. You know,
Ugh.
just leave the sheets on, you guys. Unless you're staying at a 5-star hotel, shit's like mediocre.
Wow. That's
That's
just
just
that's just how it is across the
and
whole.
it's not even the housekeeper's fault. Like
Mm,
these companies, like, and I'm just gonna reveal a little bit of industry stuff, but like these companies pay the amount, they have a rate of how quickly people need to clean a room. And their
mm,
goal is to make that speed faster and faster and faster every single year, which first of all is impossible. And so the average speed right now in the industry to clean a room is 25 minutes.
Oh,
25 minutes to clean a whole fucking room.
per room, and so it's
Yeah.
boom,
It's
boom,
just
boom, boom. Yeah,
it's just not they don't have enough time.
right.
So yeah.
So they have a time limit that they're running up against. It,
Otherwise they get in trouble or management gets in
yeah,
trouble.
and it just
So
everybody eats shit all the way up and down the block. I got it. It's you can do you can do a lot in 25 minutes though. Yeah, that's true, moving
yeah,
Dutchman. Yeah.
you can. Maybe you should apply for a job for a hotel management.
Yeah, moving Dutchman. Maybe that you found
Let
a new
me
career in
let me
hotel
know how that
management.
goes.
I'm staying in a hotel till October. I always check under the mattress, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't look. I just don't like hotel rooms. Yeah, I don't like them either. I'm not a fan. I gotta get to work. Take it easy. Peace, Jesse. Good to see you. Thanks
Bye.
for being here. I'm sure you got a lot to do booking that Grundy Palooza. So you stay busy, sir. You stay busy. The hotel rooms are cool if they're nice, but like I just don't like sleeping in places that aren't my own place.
I
Anyways.
loved hotels until I worked for them.
Oh, dude, Saucy loves them. Reina loves them too. But I mean, we tend to not get the cheapest hotels possible. You know, like we've learned our lesson over the time. Like we've had like I remember where were we? Were we in Washington? I don't know where we were, but we got a hotel, and it was just like she couldn't even be in it. Like it gave her allergies to be in this hotel, and so she fell asleep. It was so late, she just fell asleep. And she woke up and her whole face was just like fucking swollen. It was like ovulating, just like, just coming
Ugh.
out. So, so yeah, I mean, hotel rooms are real sketchy to me, but you know, whatever. I'll sleep anywhere if I have to. Anyways, so
I've been threatened before in hotels, like especially because the hotel I managed was in Brooklyn. So like,
uh,
um,
not in the hipster part of Brooklyn, in
we
Brooklyn,
were
Brooklyn.
like, no, we were like in downtown Brooklyn.
Ah.
We weren't in like Williamsburg or like anywhere fancy. Um, but you know, I like the location. It was really great. But
Mm.
yeah, we had some people threaten me before, like a guy who like trashed the room, and I like suggested that he pay,
Oh,
and he was like, "Yeah, I should take some of that glass and bring it down here and stab you with it." And I was like, "Cool, all right, I'm just gonna let you go." Like that's
you know, you can have a nice day, sir, and get the fuck out of here, fucking weirdo. It's like, did you guys have security or anything? Like, it was no,
no security.
no security.
Because again, these and this is ultimately what led to me quitting was because like these people who manage these hotels won't do anything until there's a lawsuit that requires them to do it.
Wow, wow,
Yeah.
yeah. That sucks because that's like they're just gonna wait for you to get stabbed to be proactive. Jesus. Well, now that she's stabbed, I guess we better do something about it. By the way, don't sue us, please. It's not our
I
fault,
mean,
kid.
honestly, like I have enough material. I probably could sue them, but I don't want to waste my own time
I
because
feel you. I
it's
feel you.
fucking stressful.
Yeah, no, there's just, yeah, these fucking. I hate it when they're just like the slum bosses who are just, I can't stand it. Where the fuck did you even come from? Why are you here? Why are you doing this? Like, really, what are you fucking doing here? Like,
But they don't know that they're slum bosses. They think they're doing a good job.
I'm successful. I'm successful. I'm a successful hotel manager.
The go-to line for them was always like, "Oh, we had to deal with that shit and sometimes even worse."
Oh,
Okay, so it's okay.
yeah, yeah. It's okay. Yeah. Sometimes it's worse than this. Okay. This is a little bit better.
I'm so grateful.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate you. The but with that job. So did you have the job and then the pandemic hit while you had that job, or did you quit before the pandemic?
I quit like January 2020 of my I quit my hotel job then, and then I was
Oh.
employed for this tech company for about 3.5 months, and I got that job kind of like right after. I
Mm,
started interviewing for that job while I was still employed for the hotel because I was
mm,
like ready to double gun it to the sky.
yeah.
Um, so I got laid off when I was working for the tech company.
Sweet. Well, oh yeah, sweet. Awesome. I'm so glad you got laid off at the tech company. But you decided from the tech company, you decided that you're not going to go back into the workforce in that fashion.
No, I just, yeah, I just decided that it was like, it was just time for me to be done with that. Cause I was also just like not happy at all. I was
Yeah.
like really stressed out. Like I went from being on call for a hotel to being on call to just one like rich dude. And
Yeah.
like he was, I guess, like a nice rich dude. So like he could have been worse. He wasn't mean to me or anything,
Right.
but still I was still on call 24/7 and expected to like work
Right.
24/7 essentially. And
And you had a baby
that's
at the time too, right?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
And it
tough.
was like, and the rhetoric at the tech company was so hilarious because they were like, family is the most important. And I'd be like, okay, so you guys schedule this meeting over dinner and it's supposed to happen for the next 3 months. So like
Yeah.
family's not that important to you
No,
then.
no, it's not. Family is the most important thing as long as they keep their ass at home and don't interfere with what we're doing here.
Exactly.
We like your family from afar, but yeah, get in here. Get in here.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I decided
Thank you for that follow, watch stream watcher. Appreciate that. Thank you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah, the rich boss on call thing that seems a little rough, especially
mhm.
with how old was your baby when you started? So this was last year. How old was your baby when you were going through these transitions?
She was, let's see, she was one. Yeah,
Mm,
she was 1.5.
wow, wow.
And I think that's like honestly, like getting pregnant and having the baby, that is kind of like when a light switch turned on in my brain. And I was like, why the fuck am I doing all this? Like, I
Yeah.
was just kind of like, I just realized how much work a child took.
Mm,
And I realized how much extra work I was doing to take care of all these like managers who were supposed to be better than me at their jobs, but
right.
yet somehow I'm like managing up to like get them to, anyway. It was just like,
Yeah.
I was like, this is dumb. Like, this is not working.
Mental. See you later, buddy. Thank you so much again for stopping in, and congratulations on your new job. Here's another round of applause and some air horns for that ass. Thank you, sir. And thank you for all your support and your love and all those gifted subs. That was incredible. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, brother. You have a great rest of your day, bud. Yeah, I feel like there is some sort of like chemical change. Like no, there has to be, right? When especially for a woman, but also for a dude in a relationship, there's just some kind of chemical change that goes on, especially with a woman. I mean, obviously, you guys are doing all the work here. I mean, we just were like, ugh, and then that was it, done. So, I mean, you gotta give credit where credit is due, but I do think that in those moments and those years after having a baby, I mean, like both parents but especially women, are like trying to sort of catch up and contend with this huge life change that they had no way of expecting.
Yeah.
Was there, when you had the baby, was there any sort of, because when Reina got pregnant, I know that I didn't take it well. And then it took me literally until Saucy was here, where it really sunk in. Most of it was just me being anxious about being a father, and and
Mhm.
and then once the baby was here, everything changed. I'm a visual kind of learner, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, but there was like these big, like me and my wife were just talking about this today. We're just talking about like the big shift in our life at that moment, and like trying to deal with this big shift and try to keep a relationship going. I'm just curious, did you have any big shifts besides this sort of I need to start working for myself, I need to get away from these people, like did
No,
your
totally.
was there a shift with your, I mean, not just with your family, but like with your husband, was there a change, was there expectations that sort of shifted and
No, I mean, totally. I mean, I have to backtrack a little bit because, like for us in our relationship, we had our big shift. We had probably the biggest shift was before I got pregnant because
mm,
we actually were pregnant once before and I had a miscarriage.
oh,
And
oh,
that was really, it was incredibly hard. I was not expecting it to be something that was that challenging. And I think I was just like, ignorant of what those experiences were like. And I had always assumed like, yeah, people have a miscarriage, like, they're only pregnant for a little bit. It can't be that bad. But
right,
like, when you're suffering through those first 15 or 16 weeks and then it doesn't work out, it's like, it's a big deal.
yeah,
And so
yeah,
I think for us, it was like, it was a big test, because we were both really angry, and there's no one to be angry at. There's no one to like, and also it's not okay to talk about it, like we couldn't just like talk to our friends about it because it would make them squeamish. And
Right.
some friends I could talk to about it, but um it really moved our relationship into this like place of like grief. Like, how do you operate as individuals? And like the way that I handle grief is different than the way that he handles grief,
Right.
like where he might be more introverted and stick his head, put his head down, just get to work and kind of get through it. Like, and I'm just like a little anxiety monster, so I have to like know all the plans, and if something changes, suddenly I'm stressed out. So it was really like we had to kind of grow in our relationship in that way.
Yeah.
And then when I became pregnant, I was like, I was very happy, and but again, just like totally floored by how painful pregnancy was.
Yeah.
And it was also, again, like, how do you, it felt like I had a disease. Like, I'm serious.
Oh,
Like, it was just like something was wrong, like every trimester, whether it was like and just getting like super personal, but like, whether it was like placenta previa, or whether it was like, being so nauseous that I couldn't get out of bed, or
yeah.
like, just, it was just a lot. And so when you go through like a period of grief, and then like a period of, really, it's like, of where your husband just kind of becomes more of a caretaker, it's like it does change and shift the way that you treat each other.
Yeah.
And then the baby's there, so we went through a whole bunch. We went through a whole bunch of different stuff, and just to, it's, and you have to find the other side of it at some point to start reconnecting again and making time for each other. And that's really what, we probably started doing when our daughter was like, I want to say 4 or 5 months, when she
Mm.
started sleeping a little bit better.
Yeah.
But we're definitely not the same people we were in like 2016, that's for sure.
Yeah. Change is lots of just forced change. And, yeah. Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you so much. Pregnancy is rough and traumatic. Takes years to recover. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. I mean, and again, I mean, I don't want to take any of the credit away from women and what they have to do and have to go through, but it also affects the dudes. It's a tough. It was tough for us because it was such a change. It was such a big change, especially for me, just by my attitude and how I functioned as a human being. And especially, I was like just getting sober, and like and my dad died, and my hair was
Oh,
falling out, and all this shit, and then the baby. So it was a lot at the time. But it was like, I don't know, like it was just, I think it was harder for me. Reina was such a trooper about it. Like, she just shifted right into mom mode, whereas dad had to sort of like figure out how to get in there and get in where he fits in. And it was
yeah.
tough. It was tough on both of us. And I wish I was more supportive in those first days than I was. I was actually a bastard. So it was
It,
not.
it's tough. I mean, like, I always tell people like that the biggest challenge in parenthood is really not loving your kid. Loving your kid is easy. What's
Yeah.
hard is managing yourself and how you respond to situations. That, I mean, I still struggle with that. Like, I had a lot of trauma growing up, so like I don't come from the best. Like, I don't always know like what the right response is. Like, I've
Mm.
had a lot of practice now, so I'm a lot better, but
Yeah.
like, but I feel that, it's like, you're not going to always have like the best way to respond to everything just, ready to go. You're going
Yeah.
to feel frustrated because your whole life just changed. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel
and
that.
that's literally what I've been trying to figure out. I mean, you said it so perfectly, is like just trying to figure out how to respond to things appropriately, because I just have a very I just have a tendency to be inappropriately responsive to people's things, like and it could be like so out of nowhere, and it's so like just weird, and like I can be curt with people I don't even know, and that bothers me. That's embarrassing to me, and it's just. I mean, I can be an asshole to people that I want to be an asshole to, and like I don't have any qualms with that. But like when it's like unintended, and it was just because they caught me on an off day, it's like that shit feels terrible. It feels terrible, and so now anytime I have my little like inappropriate response, it's like a couple of days of depression afterwards and stuff. So it's like it just gotten to that point where I have to sort of shift because it's so taxing to to
Yeah.
to do that. I mean, how much energy does it take to freak out over like to
Yeah.
really get up in arms about something, it's a lot of energy, and it's just, you know, if it's not directed in the right place, it can really be damaging to people around you and yourself. And so,
Mhm.
so you had you've been working on your responses and trying to
Yeah,
get
well,
better
and
at that.
also I think like I've been really stubborn in my life, like because I went through a lot of stuff as a kid,
Hmm.
like I never I was like one of these people who was like really like poo-pooing like therapy and stuff too. Like I was just like, no, I don't need that. Like
Right.
I'm good. I can keep a job and I'm awesome. So like,
I can keep a job and I'm
like
awesome.
so like I just didn't think, but I think at some point it's really good to admit that like, hey, maybe you don't know why you're doing something and that's cool. And like just go talk to somebody who may help you figure that out. And like I started seeing a therapist like maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and it's been like the best thing in my life because now I'm like I have someone else I can, and also there's someone else I can like say, hey, like this shit is happening. It
Mm.
doesn't make sense to me. And I don't have to put everything on my husband
Yeah.
because that's also kind of fucked up for a relationship,
Yeah.
like if you're not, if you're trying to figure yourself out, and you're putting all your baggage onto one person, that's a lot for one person to hold and then
Yeah.
also feel sexy later, like it's not hot.
It's not hot to put your baggage on your
It's not
partner.
hot to throw your baggage on someone. Like save it for the therapist. Save the good stuff for the one you
Right.
love.
Pay somebody to dump your shit on. That no, I'm fully with that, and I've been in therapy for about 2 years now, and God, I wish I would have started so much longer ago. And
Same,
I was,
same.
my problem was that I thought I could handle it with like just balancing my drug intake, and it turns out not very effective way to manage
No,
trauma. No.
you can still feel like shit without drugs.
It's just, it was just, I mean, my whole 20s was just me running away from my problems. So,
All
whatever.
right.
It was a good time. It was a good run, like it was a jaunty sprint, but I wasted a lot of time, a lot of energy, but I got a lot of good stories, I guess.
No, I feel that. I mean, I did a lot of drugs when I was like 20 to 21, and
Oh,
then I went to art school and got more serious about just but I
about
don't know, but then I
drugs.
just switched the addiction from like drugs well, and I don't want to say addiction because I was never like doing drugs for longer than like a year, but
Mm.
like but I feel like I just like was self-soothing with the drugs, and then I started self-soothing with like being a workaholic and
Mm-hmm.
just like being a perfectionist,
Ah,
and that's just like an accepted form of
right.
like unhealthy
Of
behavior. And so
course.
then like that just ran for a long time.
Right. Yeah. Burn yourself out. You'll just work yourself into mania. Um,
Yeah.
the that workaholic thing. I wish that would have took hold at a younger age. But you seem to have got away from drugs and alcohol and focused in on. But that's great because at least you focused in on something other than getting fucked up and running from your emotions. And
I mean,
uh,
I was running from my
right.
emotions for sure. Just I was making more money while doing it.
Which is that's a way more productive way of going about it,
Is
I
it
would say.
though? Is
Yeah,
it?
I would say because I was just drunk and like jobless and broke all the time and I sucked. So like I would have
Yeah.
much rather have been working and working on myself, working towards a goal than sort of just working on self-destruction. But I mean my shit went on way too long. I was fucking
I don't
drinking.
know. Maybe I'm too much of a leftist, but I think kind of capitalism is low-key self-destruction also. Like I think it requires you to self-destruct in a lot of ways to get promoted in a capitalist society. At
Yeah,
least I felt like parts of myself were getting destroyed.
for sure. I mean,
Not
yeah,
to get too heavy.
too heavy. We were just talking about we're just talking about a bunch of shit. Like we're already there, mermaid. We're already heavy. um,
True. True.
but wait, what did you just say? I'm sorry. I just got distracted with that. You
Uh,
just said not to
I
get
was
too
saying that
heavy.
capitalism is also
Oh yeah,
self-destruct.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about capitalism is that it makes our lives pretty convenient. I wish there was a better way to go about it, and there is, right? There is better ways to go about capitalism than what we are currently, because the way it is now is very destructive to
Hmm.
a lot of people. A lot like we just I mean, you look how we do it. Like we can't afford technically afford to stick to these regulations that we have in America. We can't we can't afford to pay people with full benefits like we
Well, we
used to. So
yeah.
so now we'll fucking take our operation overseas and we'll pollute their place, and then we'll pay them slave wages, and then we'll build nets around the buildings so when they go to kill themselves, they won't die, and we can put their asses right back into work. Foxconn, everybody. Foxconn, the place that brought you your iPhone, everyone.
I
Um,
mean that all sounds pretty self-destructive to me.
I agree. I agree. And no, but that's what I'm saying is like there is like capitalism to me, like, because I mean, I see the value in it, but I also see the destruction in it. And like,
Yeah.
and so it's like, how do you sort of move those two to make it so it's benefiting everyone and not because capitalism got.
You fix it by creating a business plan that requires no capital and allows you to redistribute the wealth from the top to the bottom, and you take out the top people completely. I've thought about this.
Can you go through? We can afford to do it, but it will. But people want billions, not millions. Yeah, no, I'm sure we can. I'm sure we can. So can you
I think
explain that to me because that sounds like some socialist talk.
I mean, I don't know enough about socialism, communism, or capitalism to really talk about any of this stuff, but
But
sure, I'll talk about it.
well, I mean, exactly. Yeah, we're artists and musicians. Yeah, let's talk about finance. Here, let's go.
That's not, but here's what I do know. Like when I was managing the hotels, I had to go through a profit and a loss statement and a profit and a loss statement every single month, and we would go through line by line and go through what our expenses were versus what we were making. Right.
Mm,
So you have your top line revenue, which is what your business makes. You have all your expenses, and then you have whatever is left at the bottom, and that's called your flow through. And so, what these business people liked, at least for hotels, was like a 65% flow through. And that
mm,
65% is used to pay if you have like investors, if you have the owners, or if you need to pay like rent on the building, like say you have a lease with the bank,
mm,
right? So, I know that if 65% is being paid to those guys, and a lot of that is just profit, like a lot of it, and they don't tell you that, like they don't tell you on the ground level, like what percentage of that money that's being made is being given to like the owners. But I can tell you that if like we didn't have those costs, and if we didn't have owners, and you could take the money that was made on the top and redistribute it to the entire business, or even give a lot of it to other companies, or not other companies, but like other people who need it,
mm.
we could move a lot. We could do a lot. So I think that like when I think about like Twitch and I think about managing my own business, I'm definitely trying to be smarter with my own profit and loss statement whenever profit does happen, which I'm
Yeah,
hoping will be eventually. But
yeah.
I don't know, that's what I think. So I think it's just we just have to create a new business model that's, doesn't give billionaires money, really.
Well, then who owns it? Then the people own it. That's what the like. Is that what?
Well, I haven't figured out all these details, but I can only say that for me,
Yeah.
if I were to have like in a perfect world, like say I made $100 and I only needed to spend 40 on my expenses and I had 60 left over, I would want to give a lot of that to people who were up and coming, who had good ideas that just needed financial support. I
Right.
think if the people, because I think that all the good ideas to solve the world's problems are out there. I think that people are just bogged down by things like not having housing, not having secure food, and having debt. I think
Mm.
if you resolved those three problems for a lot of creative people, like, we would be able to solve so many problems so fast.
Yeah.
So
And you know what? I can dig that. I mean, there's a part of me that holds on to capitalism because I love my fucking iPhone. I love it. I love this computer. I love this mixer. I love my fucking laptop. I love my guitars. I love all these things that were made possible. I like that I live in a country where I can drink the water and not die of whatever disease because I can't afford the $1 cost for the medication that goes with it. In most cities, I should say. I mean, Flint, Michigan, are they're still dealing with stuff. But I mean, but still, I really enjoy the fact that that I was born in this country where I'm not struggling. Which I know I was very lucky to be born into a family. I mean, I'm not saying my family was rich. We were fucking poor as fuck. But I'm lucky that I was in a family that worked hard and they made something of themselves. and I benefited off that greatly, and that was wonderful. And so I'm very thankful for that. But then when you see the people who are in these cities like South Chicago or Baltimore, where they have no funding for schools. Their schools are falling apart. Their roads are awful. Like it's just liquor stores and gun stores. There's, no real there's no real investment in the community, and I feel like that is something that is a big deterrent for people trying to come up when all you see is despair, and all you see is the only way to make money, and try to get out of the situation is doing what you see other people doing, whether it's selling drugs or pimping or whatever the situation calls for. Looking for alternative ways for income because your opportunities are very limited by your environment and in proximity. So I do see the point where we do need to figure out how we're going. Oh my God, mighty, thank you so much for that. We do have to. I think we do need to figure out a way to where we are sort of redistributing money where people actually have a fair chance. And I think that's where this sort of links up with your idea, where it's like we need to sort of be able to distribute this money and rebuild these neighborhoods so people can get a chance and have a chance to build something more than just what their environment allows them or even shows them. And so it's so awful that we think of people, who make it out of the hood as outliers. You know what I mean? Like that's awful. It's awful that we look at these people as outliers, especially as a person who came up in the country, in the fucking hood, in the city, like in different, I've come up in way different, that's socialist talk. But I also am way into my iPhone, Cartagena.
But I don't know. I think there's a way you can have the best of both worlds. And I'm an idealist for sure. Like
Yeah.
I know that about myself. Like I have to be. But like I don't know. I think you can still have your iPhone and like help people not starve to death.
Right, but how do we make it so it's like affordable and we're still able to have these comforts of life that's affordable, but not because the only reason why, which they say the only reason why these things are affordable is because they're able to make them at such a low cost. And
I
so,
disagree. I
well,
want I want to see the profit and loss statement. I don't believe any company that says they don't have money that they can give. No, absolutely.
no, yeah,
Like if you take the top people and if you cut their salaries down to $100,000 a year, which first of all, that's a lot of money to me.
yeah,
But
for
like if
sure.
you cut it to $100,000, suddenly there's going to be so much more money. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't believe it.
Right.
Like
Well, and that's the
I don't
thing.
believe that.
Well, and that's the thing about like profits and capitalism and the idea of a company is that they have to like it's part of the business model is grow every year, constant growth, forever grow.
No,
And
they just want to keep their market share.
right, but
Like
they also want to make more. And like
right.
because it's never ending growth, like that's the whole idea, right? Like you want to keep growing and growing and growing until you're Walmart or Amazon, and then you're a whole new beast that don't want to pay their fucking workers a living wage. But fucking I don't know what
I
you
don't
were
know.
gonna
I don't
say.
know either. I'm an artist.
I know, but these are
Art school. I didn't go to business
me
school. I don't know
neither.
about
I,
if like the economy. I don't know.
there's so many smart people who would probably just listen to me and be like, this fucking dude is so out of touch with reality. Like, where is this person even from? Like, what?
But do we even want to be in touch with reality? Like,
I
it's
don't
more
know.
fun on this side.
I think so. I think so. Thomas Frank. Yeah, Tommy. People at the top just keep all the money, can easily increase wages, but it will decrease the profit margin for public companies and
Yeah,
hurts their stocks.
it's true.
iPhone, not capitalism. The internet was made for the military. Sure enough. That's socialist talk. Yeah, you know what? I am a big old lefty softy when it comes down to it. But it's like, I don't know. I hate to see people suffering and shit. Like, I don't like what's coming out of this. And I don't like how this pandemic has sort of furthered the distance between,
Hmm.
people living at least a comfortable life where they're not constantly struggling just to fucking that
Hmm.
kind of mentality of survival is just not a healthy way to live your life consistently or
It's
and
not. And
And
there's no need for it.
right.
Like we have this, believe it or not, like I mean, I know, I feel like a lot of people, there's this idea that there's like not enough resources or there's not enough
Hmm.
money, but there's plenty of all that.
Hmm.
We just, people are just hoarding it.
Hmm. Yeah, they're being it's being hoarded at the very top, and it's like if you're at the top, you're not gonna want to go down. You don't go backwards,
Hmm.
and you can kind of see it how people, like you, especially if you come from humble beginnings and you work and you make this money and you've turned your life around and you've done all this stuff and then you have people who like wants to raise taxes on you and like and it's like what the fuck did I do to you? It's like it's not my fault that you didn't work hard or pull yourself up by the bootstraps, so why should I be taxed harder? Why should I have to give what I worked hard for in order for you to eat?
Millionaires don't work hard. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it right now. They don't. No, and here's why I feel confident
Millionaires.
about. I'm serious. I feel
I believe
100%
you.
confident saying that because like the way that the ladder works is that each position further up is less and less work.
Right.
Where until you're at the very top, you're approving like just so few things. You're not working hard. You have just gone through the whole system and somehow now you're benefiting. Like that's why when people are like Jeff Bezos works so hard, dude, Jeff Bezos probably just like anyway, I was gonna say something really inappropriate, but Jeff Bezos probably just spends all day relaxing and works for like 15 minutes a day. Like he's
I
not he's not working hard.
he's
Like
yeah, he's doing kundaling, what is it, kundalini yoga and reaching new heights in his own mind. He's like, I'm fucking so in touch with myself.
yeah, he's doing something, but he's not working.
As to what Mermaid said about 60%, I gained a ton of respect for Keanu Reeves for all he gave the crew for The Matrix. His face, name, but he realized that they made the movie. So
Mhm.
wait, so Keanu Reeves gave money to the crew? Is that what you're saying, Penny? And
That
welcome.
sounds like that's what he's saying, but that kind of makes sense to me. It's like, I don't
Oh.
know. Because, like, say, for example, in some hypothetical universe, like,
Mm-hmm.
I were to get a windfall of $5 million, similar to what I imagine Keanu gets paid for something pretty low standard at that point. But, like, if you're chill already and you don't need 5 million, like my expenses are not going to equal $5 million. Like, so why not just give it away, you know?
Um, let me see something. Oh, I know what we can do. This will probably be easier, and then we can all be involved.
Like,
So a big portion was given to the special effects and designer crew as part of his back end deal where the actor made money from the profits of the movie. The actor cleared a whopping 75 million in profits from the film, and from that cash Keanu gave each member of the production crew 1 million freaking dollars.
see, it's possible.
Look at Mermaid like it's
It's
possible, bitches.
possible. I'm serious.
I know you are. I'm not
Because
even
like
trying to
when
shit
I
on your
when I
idea
worked
either.
at when I worked at the hotel, like especially in Tribeca, my boss talked to me for no kidding, less than 7 minutes per week. Less than seven. He didn't help me with reports. He didn't come to the hotel. He did fucking nothing. He did nothing. And that dude made like $185,000 a year to talk to me for 7 minutes a week.
You got my
And that's why
money?
I was like,
Okay. That's yeah. That's intense, man. That's intense. No, and you're right. You're right. That the idea that money can be, I mean, redistributing money is literally just everybody decides like this is where it goes. If we can all decide that these fucking little green pieces of paper are worth whatever the number is that's printed on them, then we could fucking decide that that little green piece of paper can also go into other funnels and other avenues of funding. And I'm completely with you. I just don't see. I just don't believe in the human race like that. Like, and it's not because you can't. Because here's the thing: you can start it with good intentions, but once you're corrupted by wealth and what comes with it, that's really hard to shake off. And not that I would
yeah,
know anything about it, but I've read enough books, I guess, to know that it's
I
that.
don't know. I think it's a social thing. I think that like like you're born into wealth and you want to keep like your little social status,
Yeah.
like all your friends are doing all this stuff. You want to do the same stuff as your friends. And I think that's why everyone's like kind of delusional, who like people who are like millionaires are like, oh, I'm middle class. And it's
Mm.
like, no, you're not, but you think you are because all your friends make the same money as you and you all do the same things. And I think you're right. I think people who are already kind of set in their patterns, like there's no hope that those people are going to suddenly wake up and be like, you know what, I don't need to go on this vacation, I could give money to someone else. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think that's realistic, but maybe if there's some poor people who
That
make money.
Oh, well, or poor people could gather up the guns and we can go storm the fucking kit. Okay, I'm not gonna
French
say.
Revolution style, my sister would like that, I think.
I feel the youth really is for that these days. Like, there's this sense that the youth is all for just tear it up and rip it down.
Well,
But
according to astrology, all of the kids being born right now have their south node in Scorpio and their north node is in Taurus. So, what that means is that they're going to understand chaos a lot better. It's going to be a part of who they are.
oh,
And the goal for them is to kind of get towards creating some balance for the world. So, yeah, the youth might just shake everything the fuck up because, I
yeah.
mean, why not?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that if revolution is what they're calling for, I am not with that shit. I am not willing to take up my gun and start shooting at my neighbor because he doesn't believe in the same fucking whatever that I do.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm not here for that.
Yeah, me neither.
And I don't think, and I might be wrong, but I don't think that a lot of these youth who are out in the streets and the people who are marching around and breaking out windows and burning shit down, I don't think they're ready for that either. Especially the ones who are like, guns are bad. Well, guess what? The people that you consider your enemy are fully
They-
armed. Fully armed. They are fully armed.
yeah.
And you have a brick. So just know that when you come
Don't bring a brick to a gunfight.
yeah, just know that when you come stepping up to your neighbor because they're a, whatever, a Trump supporter or an other, whatever it is that you find deplorable, just know that, yeah, you're bringing a brick to a gunfight. And that's when shit gets serious. And, like, that's what I don't want to see. I don't want to see a bunch of young people dead in the streets because a bunch of fucking
For
hillbillies are
sure.
like, fuck you,
Mhm.
out of my cold, dead hands, Like, that whole thing is, it's a very real situation. And I'm not trying to sit here and shit on people who have guns or who have that mentality. Or even if you voted for Trump, I think you're sorely misinformed. But that's okay. Most of us are too. But I don't have that much animosity against somebody for not believing in what I believe
Yeah,
in.
same.
So
Yeah, I don't think I would want to commit any violent acts against anybody. I just don't. I mean, I care, but I don't think killing anyone's going to make the problem better,
and,
you
and
know?
and because when you're talking about revolution, when you're talking about tearing shit down, that's what it's gonna be. You think this government's just gonna hand over the keys?
I
Like,
guess
okay,
I guess when I think of the word revolution, I think about it in a way that creates competition for capitalism in a way that can't be ignored. Like I think like right
mm,
now, at least my personal view is that
sure,
all the systems that currently exist, they're not sustainable if they're managed any way similar to how the hospitality industry is, which I know they are. I've known people in finance, I know people in tech, I know people in different industries. They're all being run in this way that's not sustainable. And I think that like when I think about revolution, like what that word really means, I don't really think about like, pitchforks and fire and guns. I guess I think about like a bunch of young people who are like, actually, I don't want to participate in this system. So I'm going to create something different and something new.
mm,
And whatever that looks like will look like, what they want it to look like. I
mm,
think that hopefully they're smart enough to realize that like, storming the castle with guns is not a good idea and I don't condone that by any means, but I guess that's what I think that they're just going to make something different that hopefully uses the system we have now to make something better. I don't know what that looks like, but I don't
well,
know.
how could you?
But again, maybe I live in fantasy land. Maybe I'm also just
Well,
like a
I don't.
super idealist.
Yeah, and so am I, and there, but I try to stay as real as possible. But I don't think that is outside the realm of possibility. I mean, we can't think of anything because that's not us, I guess, that is going to come up with it. But it's very possible that the next revolutionizing idea comes from the youth, and it
Mhm.
does, change everything for hopefully the better. But we'll see what happens. I'm working now, and it's my day off. Congratulations, lower tier, awesome. What did you say? I wished I was. Oh no, wait. The problem is that if you redistribute. Jeez, Louise, Mike, redistribute. Jeez, Louise. The problem is that if you redistribute wealth, the people at the top will raise prices, and you end up in the same place.
Hmm.
Which is
I'll have to think about that.
Well, you're kind of seeing an example of that right now with all this money that we're printing off, and we're seeing a rise in prices because the more money that you print, the less the dollar is valued. And right
Hmm.
now, we are just printing money and we're just giving it to corporations, mostly corporations. It's honestly, we're mostly printing money and handing it over to corporations. And like a very small percentage of that is actually being distributed to people with like unemployment because of the pandemic and stuff. So it's really interesting what we're doing right now. And we're sort of seeing what happens when you redistribute the wealth in a way that's, well, unsustainable because, which maybe it is sustainable. MMT people, the modern monetary theory people, they think that we can just print money all day long and it'll be fine because we're America and people love our bonds. They're our U.S. bonds, so it's fine. People believe in us, even though we're shipping all of our industry overseas or down to Mexico, and we're not producing much.
Hmm.
We're not actually producing stuff. Like we don't even have access to medicines that we make here. We have to rely on China. Cotton swabs. We don't even have
I don't
cotton.
know. I think that's pretty dangerous. This whole, I mean, at least
Yeah,
for me, like I feel like with this whole pandemic, it made me feel like, wow, if there isn't like a source of water or a source of food in my region, I'm in bad shape in case anything hits the fan.
for real, for real. And I honestly like where I live. I fucking hated the idea of moving back here from Southern California, from San Diego, from Ocean Beach, California. Oh God, I love OB.
That's nice.
Love OB. Oh, I miss it so much. But I hated the idea of coming back here, but through this pandemic and through just the growth I've seen in my family and just the growth I've seen in what we are able to accomplish when we're not just stressing out just to exist, just to like pay rent, like I've seen what the result is, and it's just more conducive for all of us. It just works better for us. And now after this pandemic and seeing how California was sort of ran, seeing how it's still run. I mean, they're trying to recall the fucking governor right now, which God, I hope that they fucking get rid of that guy. But
Well, I hope not because
what
it's actually a scheme by Republicans to like get a Republican in there. If he gets out, then
La-
the Senate is taken by Republicans.
Larry
So
Elder.
like,
Have
so
have you ever heard Larry Elder speak?
no, I don't know who that is.
He's the guy who's up. He's the Republican who's up. He's not. I wouldn't say he's a necessarily Republican, but he's definitely a conservative. He's actually a really smart guy, and he makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I'm with you. I mean, like
I don't know. I don't trust
I,
any politician.
I don't either.
I think he's just saying what he needs to say to get as many people who are Democrats to just stay home.
Yeah,
Like,
or get them to come over to them because how many Democrats did you know? I don't know. I knew a lot of people who were Democrats who just switched over Republicans over in this last year. Maybe it's
oh,
my place.
really?
Yeah, yeah. Like a lot of people who didn't buy guns are like interested in guns now. It's just like I mean, I'm a musician. I hang out with a bunch of lefties all the time, and a lot of lefties that I'm talking to are like, "Fuck this, fuck that. I'm getting a gun." It's just like I'm not dealing with shit because the uncertainty that the pandemic revealed to everybody. I mean, we were talking about having a stable job. Well, now in the age of pandemics, there's no stable job. There is no stable job. So, we got to figure this shit out for ourselves. That's how I'm taking this whole thing is like we
Mhm.
need to figure out how to get as much money as possible before this shit fucking goes under because I honestly don't have a great outlook for the future of this country and especially in these next upcoming years. I mean, and I voted for fucking Biden, and I'm looking at our president, and he can barely speak an entire sentence, and he's just, I don't know, man. I'm not saying I'm not trying to say like I'm going Republican, everybody, but what I'm saying is that there does not, this pandemic has revealed how big of a sham this all is, and
Yeah, it's
how
all a sham.
and 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 I don't have a lot of faith that we're going to be able to get out of that because of the nature of who we are, like
Hmm.
of being a human. So
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
don't know. I mean,
Mm,
the only thing that makes me feel optimistic is like, and this is really strange, but the only thing that makes me feel optimistic about this country and where we're going and all that is that when I was managing these hotels and shit was hitting the fan, what did happen was that after shit hit the fan, people there's some people just run the fuck away. Some
right,
people don't want to solve the problem. Some people get into fight or flight mode. But there are people who are ready to fix it, and those people get listened to because shit just hit the fan.
right.
So I guess what I'm saying is like, yeah, like maybe more shit needs to hit the fan and more stuff will start falling apart. But I do think people are ready to step up and handle it because I know people, I don't know, at least the people I'm talking to and the
Mm,
sentiment the vibe that I'm getting is that people don't like how things are right now
yeah,
and they are ready to change them. And I think that, you know, people should go back to their communities. I mean, my personal thing is like, I think like the more involved you are with your personal community, whether it's like growing a community garden, getting sustainable and healthy food for your community, or motivating your local, House or Senate
hmm
representative to do the right thing in regards to climate change. Like I hope people realize that they have a lot more agency than they realize. And I think that makes me hopeful. Will it be comfortable? No, it's not going to be
no.
comfortable at all. It's going to be fucking so uncomfortable.
Well,
But
the nature of humanity seems that the only way we can actually get our shit together is if some horrible big tragedy happens and we have to fucking contend with it, and that's sort of what brings everyone together. Like it was nice in those first few weeks after like 9/11. I mean, I'm not saying it was a good event, but like everybody was so nice to each other. It was nice after fucking the pandemic, like right when the pandemic started, until fuckface started opening his mouth and fucking ruining everything. I mean, there was a couple months there where I was like, wow, no one's freaking out about fucking, racism or anything. No one's fucked up about, like homophobia right now. Everybody's just like banding together. Then what did fucking the orange thing have to do? Is fucking go out and start running its mouth and fuck, dude, what an asshole. Um, yeah,
yeah,
but
I just hope that people realize that like Democrats and Republicans are not your friends
no,
and
they're not. None of these
they
people are.
they work for the 1%, and the sooner people realize that, the sooner I hope that they'll feel motivated to like get involved because
Third party,
unfortunately,
dude.
unfortunately it's a situation now where we have to fucking fix it. Like it's not going to get fixed from the top
Right.
down. That's
Yeah.
not happening.
Why would they? They're doing pretty good up there in their little
Yeah.
whatever
Mhm.
assholes. Oh, yeah. I don't. It's not even like I hate rich people or anything. It's just that I don't like it when people accumulate wealth and then try to use their wealth to like control shit and throw it around, and it's just gross. But whatever. We'll get there. I do. I am like. I love that you started talking about nodes and Pluto or whatever you say. I love.
Oh, astrology. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
South node, north
you're
node.
really into astrology.
I mean, a little bit. I'm definitely an amateur, and there's a lot of reading that needs to be done that I'm
Mhm.
too lazy to do. I used to do chart readings on my stream for a very brief time period, but I didn't want to be responsible if like I read something in someone's chart and then they did something in their life. I didn't want to. I don't know.
I didn't want to be a part of. Oh shit.
I don't want to be a part of that. Like I'll do it if it's like a friend of mine, but I don't know.
It's actually their job to do everything you guys are talking about. Yeah, yeah, it's their job to take care of the people, but that's not what
Yeah.
happens. They take care of themselves. Car- Cartagena asked like an hour ago, "What's the answer to your Marvel sex question?" I have no idea what that is, so that's between you and me.
Oh, what people need in the sack is different person to person. It's a very individual question.
Mhm.
Which Marvel character is best at sex was the question. It's the
Oh,
question I ask on my stream quite a bit.
oh, I
Uh,
see.
I don't know. It's not the Hulk though, and it's not Captain America.
Hulk smash. That sounds terrible.
Definitely not Iron Man. That's definitely not
Tony
Iron Man.
Stark though. What about Tony Stark? He seems like he's fit.
No, he's too much ego. He's like
Mm.
guys who have too much ego and are too guys who are too handsome don't know what's going on
Yeah, I feel
in
you.
bed.
That's why I was glad I grew up fat because I would have been such a fucking douche. It's like I fight against douche tendencies all the time. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. The I don't know. So you don't know who your Marvel sex person is?
I don't know. I mean, I've had some pretty compelling arguments, but like I haven't heard an answer that I was like, yes, that's the most correct yet. I haven't found the right answer yet.
I don't know. That's weird. I don't know who would. I mean, I'm looking towards the female side of things, just because of my preference. But who would be good? Dang, who's like?
I know. I'm trying to think.
I can't even think of any like Black
My
Widow is
my
not really
husband
my
made a joke and was like, it would just be Professor X because he could just get in your head and
cerebral.
make,
Yeah, he's all
make shit
cerebral.
amazing.
Yeah, he wouldn't even have to touch you, and you're sitting there. He's
Seriously.
across the room just thinking, "Old face, old
He's
face."
just thinking about you.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh, just convulsing. Let's see. Let's get some female Marvel superheroes. Yeah, that's good. Let's just do that. Bring this up. Let's see. So let's get some images going. I'm very visual. Need to see these people.
I don't know. I don't think.
None of these really.
mm,
Not the Green Lady. Captain Marvel. I don't like. I don't like her. Like I've heard that she's hard to work with as an actress.
Brie Larson. Yeah, she rubs me the wrong way for some reason too. I
Yeah.
can't explain it. I don't know what it
She
is.
just I've seen this guy like break down like don't be like Brie Larson and like it's this dude on YouTube who breaks down people and like this is he broke her down and was kind of giving her backstory of how she has a reputation of being kind of difficult to work with and then he
Mhm.
shows like different interviews where she's stepping on people's jokes. She's just being difficult but like with a fake smile on. Anyways, I don't know this woman at all. She's probably a gem. I don't know her, so I should
Yeah,
probably.
I don't know. Also, sometimes I think with like women who are celebrities, like they kind of get shit on when they
Yeah.
act more assertive and more
Mhm.
masculine. So
Yep.
like, is it that she's rude or is
Right.
it that she's not fitting some stereotype of like
Exactly.
being a polite
Right.
young lady?
Do I just because I'm pretty to you, I have to smile and wink at you every time you put the camera on me? Yeah, I can get that. I mean, I can get it as best as a dude with a wiener can get it, but I get not wanting to be put in that position. So here we go. We got who are these people? Who's the red? Is that the red lady? Is the witch lady? I don't know.
Scarlet Witch that would be pretty intense.
Yeah, Scarlet
Maybe
Witch could be
maybe that
cool.
could be good.
Scarlet Witch. Who's?
She seems like somebody who would not respect your safe word though.
I'm like, I'm not done yet. That's the problem, though. That's the thing. I would be so intimidated by a superhero.
Yeah, right. It's
Like,
kind of scary.
how would I even be able? Like, I don't know.
Definitely not Cyclops.
No, no. Gwyneth Paltrow. What's her name? That's Iron Man's wife, but can't remember her name.
What is her name? I
She doesn't
forget. It's
do
like
anything. She just sits there. I don't like the Wakanda lady. I would be too afraid of her. I'm too afraid of all these women. Like these women, I would just be. I'm afraid of my own wife. Okay, like I'm afraid of my own wife. Like I don't even like. I'm uncomfortable asking her for sex. I don't see how fucking me trying to get in the pants of these people would do anything. I'd just be sitting there like, I'm sorry. Oh, I'll go now. I'm sorry. I'll go. Did you need some tea? Need me to freshen anything up? That's where I would be at. That's where I'd be at. Professor
yeah,
X
I
with the
don't
mental
know.
K.
Like
Pepper
a
pots.
totally huge power, it like disadvantage.
Yeah. Yeah, hi, I'm Captain Marvel, and this is my boyfriend Todd. Hi, Todd. Say hi to the people, Todd.
But like a lot of the male superheroes have like normal girlfriends in the movies.
Yeah, yeah. So
Like
why couldn't the women have one too? I mean, it would be dope. I think they should do it. They should. What? They should do it. They should just get with some regular ass, basic ass dude. Let's go.
Pepper Potts was the name.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cartagena.
Thank you, Cartagena. Cartagena,
But,
you're the best.
but just out of curiosity, what is your do you know your rising and your moon and your sun sign?
Hell no, I don't.
Oh man, can I?
Yeah, please. I actually would love to. So what information do you need from me?
I think I just if you want, I don't want you to like say it on screen
Oh, I
because
don't care.
that's not smart. But
I mean, if it's my birthday, I don't care. Like, fucking April 11th, everybody. You guys have
let me see if that's enough. Um,
April 11th, Sun Aries, Mike. Thank you. I'm a Sun Aries, I guess. That's what heaven says. From one Aries to another.
I mean, I can't look up your moon or your rising sign, but
Without what?
without the year that you were
Oh,
born, I don't recommend saying
1983. I don't care.
geez
What are
Louise.
these people? What are you guys gonna do with my birthday? You gonna send me gifts? Send me gifts. You need the PO box? I got one. Send them. And time and birthplace.
Let
Oh,
me
I
see.
don't know what my time of birth was, but my birthplace was right down the street from here. Ugh, that makes me sick.
Da-da-da. Okay, I'm just looking this up. Let me see what I can find.
I'm down. Let's pull up these charts. Let's go. We need some charts going.
Let's see. Let's see. All right, maybe you should send me if you have your birth time, send me in like a something or other.
I don't have my birth time. I could call my mom and see what time.
No, don't call your mom.
I'm gonna do it.
She'll be like, "Why are you doing witchcraft?"
Yeah, she might. That's the devil shit, mijo. That's the devil shit. Don't do the devil shit, mijo. Don't do it.
Are you in a big city in Ohio?
No, God, no. I'm in.
No.
I'm in
Don't tell
Toledo.
me that on screen. Just tell me the biggest city
Everybody
that's like,
knows where I live.
okay, all right.
Everybody
Jeez,
knows.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Let's see if she answers. Is she gonna answer? Mom,
Did you just call her?
Mom, what time of day was I born? Hello? Well, make it quick. It was nighttime. Do you remember what? Oh, like 3 or 4 a.m. or something. Okay, we're just going with 4 a.m. then. All right, thank you. She's like,
All
I'm trying
right.
to think. I'm trying to think. Faster, mom. Something with
Okay,
waffles.
so your rising sign is Aquarius. Oh, that's actually really good for you right now
Why? What does that mean?
because a lot of the planets are moving through the sign of Aquarius right now. So that means you're kind of like extra lucky right now. So you might be doing a bunch of like new stuff in your life or getting a new energy for some ideas that maybe you've been sitting on for a while.
Ooh, I
Um,
have been.
your regular sign is Aries. That's your sun sign. And your Aquarius and your moon sign is an Aquarius. Oh wow.
He said, Heaven says he's gonna have some water on Fire Moon or Fire Moon.
Wow.
I, yeah, you guys are talking.
Interesting.
Ooh,
Your Jupiter is in Taurus. That's interesting too.
what? Why is that interesting?
Well, because Taurus is like kind of like a stable planet, it likes things that are regular. So it means that like it kind of means that anything that in your life that is set up in sort of a regular fashion that has a regularity and solid base to it
Mm.
is a little bit luckier to be successful. Jupiter is a planet of success and good fortune.
Bring it,
So,
Jupiter. Ready?
and you're with your rising and your moon sign being in Aquarius. Like that's pretty lucky this year. You might have a really good year.
Hey, Hey, I'm here
Oh,
for
my
it.
toddler's crying.
Oh,
Oh
do you want to go?
no.
Do you want to handle that? And we can end right now if you need to go. It's totally fine.
I mean, I probably should because she's just gonna keep crying
No
until I.
problem. Mermaid Serenade, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. We didn't even get a chance to bother you for a song, but you go take care of that
Oh,
crying time.
sorry.
I don't, it's totally fine. You could just come back on and make it up. We'll just do it like that.
Yeah, I'll come back whenever.
Okay. Well, go get your baby, and you have a lovely rest of your day. And thank you so much for hanging out and chatting it up with me.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
No
Thank
worries.
you.
This is fun. Have a great day.
All right. Bye.
Peace. Boom! Mermaid Serenade! Boom! Moving Dutchman! Thank you for those claps. Enjoyable. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, I agree. That was really fun. I feel like we didn't even really talk about her art. We didn't even talk about her Etsy. Everybody go check out her. Yes, I want to be famous forever. Hold on. Perfect timing because the food is ready. Okay, I do have to pee, but let me take you guys to her Etsy because I want you guys to check out some of the stuff she does. It's really cool. Again, for those who are maybe joined us.